are you? And the biggest thing that makes people not be tech is not being able to write code. That's slowly but surely changing. And where lots of IT people and stuff like that, now people who are not trained in it can do it, right?
Yes, yes. Hello, Neil, and thank you again for the podcast. I think you're raising a very good point, and I think 2025 onwards, we're moving into a new era of businesses. So I'll give you an example. Like the last big unicorn businesses that happened, like all the Facebook, LinkedIn, and so on, it was engineers, software engineers that create the biggest businesses in the world. It was not business people. But now it's going to twist again, and it's going to be the business people who have a business model that will create worldwide, world-class apps. That's where we are, and that's with the new opportunities that we have with this what is called the IDEs, integrated development environments, which is like software to write code and so on. Now with the AI, I can speak to that software, create the pages, the databases, and everything. And me as a business owner, I can translate my business ID into an app. And maybe in 1 or 2 years, we will be the next unicorns. The business people will create the next unicorns.
Now, that's what everyone says is people using AI to create things using ChatGPT. That's incorrect. They have to come up with an idea, use these AI tools to create something off the offline that's going to be a game changer.
Exactly. And it's the business value. So you have to look at the value creation. Where is the value creation? So as a business owner, you notice that if I do X, Y, and Z, I create value, people pay me for it. Now I'm going to build a software that is going to translate that and scale it and build the interfaces that I need. And now you have a product that was value generation oriented, not technology advantage oriented, because that's what the big programmers they do. They had the edge at the technical level, and then they kind of find an offering for the market. But now we can do it more naturally. I have an offer for the market, and now I'm going to build the software for it thanks to AI as a business person.
Okay. And what kind of software should people looking for to create? What
Yes,
kind
so right now the
of
one
software? It's like being an inventor, right? And figuring out.
exactly, yeah. It's like you're an inventor and now you have all the machining tools to cut and assemble and solder, yeah? So it's the same. There's two tools that I use personally and I find quite interesting. One is that you can use Visual Code Studio, which is a programming language software, and now they have GitHub Copilot. GitHub is the repository for many projects. That's one way. It's a little bit more code oriented. And then you have others that are more visual and set up everything for you from the ID to the environment to run the app. That is called Replit. So Replit will use the AI for you to generate an app based on your business processes. It will pop up the user interface. It will pop up the hosting, the database, put it on a URL, and now you can share it as a URL to your friends or your customers.
That's pretty wild. So very, very interesting. And then just figuring out that idea. And then that's where you have to see what is the need right now for business people? What
Exactly.
are they
Yeah,
failing? What has not been created yet? And
that's right.
AI, what's not been created yet? And that starts the brainstorming process.
Exactly. And then you have a second parameter. So let's say you identify a need that is not covered in the market. You as a business person, you already know what is the delivery. Now the next thing you need to do to be able to leverage this new opportunity is that you nail, as you understand that industry, you need to build the database structure or just a table. I know that to fulfill this to my customers, I need their first name, last name, date of birth, this parameter, this parameter, this parameter, this parameter. Now you give that to the AI, and you will build the proper database and build the software around it.
Wow. And you got to make sure that someone's not created it yet. Correct?
That's right, but there's so many niches. So even and sometimes, like my feeling and my realization lately is that it's often better to be the second mover than the first mover because the first mover is going to hit all the roadblocks and create the awareness. And when you come as a second mover, if you're second in the market, you come without breaking those, you don't have to break the ice. So you still have an opportunity and then you can niche in and still find a very good market.
And that's so you go and find a niche be able to take that niche, create that product quickly, and then expand it if it's needed for more avenues. So, for example,
Exactly.
choose an area that people are not really creating a lot using AI, try to break into that area, and then create a winnable thing that you can sell a solution. Example, there was a specific person on my show, and he's talking about developing an AI program for educators and
Yeah.
for teachers and students. But there you go. How many people are in the AI space there? Is there a real need? Are they ready to go?
Yeah.
Because we're going to see a huge growth in the next years, right? Of more and more people finally going over to AI.
No, definitely. And also like the questions is what is my differentiation? What is my cutting edge point? What is my unfair advantage? Because like you said, now we are all in competition with with each other. Any teacher in any school could be his competitor.
So well, here's a question. What when you define an app, what do you define application to create something? What are the big ones that made lots of money? So people can see that. You brought up Facebook, you brought up certain social media
Yeah.
applications, but what are you thinking that something that came out of nowhere to make a lot of money?
Well, right now, what is hot, and I think that almost every one of us can do, is a specialized niche, small LinkedIn's or small B2B databases or contact databases, because people are ready to pay money to get leads. And there is so much leads available for free on the web if you can start with some open data and reach it. I think this is a low-hanging fruit for any entrepreneur to create their own little Apollo.io or their own little Zoom Info competitor in one specific niche like construction in the US. I have the best database of all the contacts. I don't do medical, I don't do sports. I just do this, but I'm the best at it.
And you know already the contacts of the people you're talking to, and they're already wanting to buy. Especially if you're a marketer now.
Exactly.
Hey, I got better leads. You don't have to go to Zoom Info anymore. You're done.
Yes. For
You
this
don't have
particular
to go to
industry, I'm
Apollo
better than Zoom Info. Yeah.
better than Apollo.
And
You
localize it.
understand it. Right.
Yeah. Like, for example, the state and the city where you are, because you have specific knowledge that somebody that is not there will not have it, that will become your edge because you know that this area is industrial area and whatever challenges that there is in that state or community.
What do you think about the space industry? It's been growing.
Mhm.
I mean, aerospace, but I'm talking more space, the final frontier. There are a lot of space companies. There are a lot of startups. Do you think they need to bring AI to them or look at if there's an opportunity there?
Space. Hmm.
Yeah.
It depends. Are you talking about building hardware for
For
space or more like
software, for
services,
AI,
software?
back end, you know that every
Yeah. So
industry is going to space. The hospitality industry is going to go to space. The everything. So when they go to the moon and Mars, prepare yourself now by
yeah,
creating a solution that could be obsolete, that it's already ready to plug and play by the time it really blows up.
yeah. So I have a feeling or an idea is that whatever tools we have right now to communicate between humans in different time zones and continents, we're going to need the same tools to communicate over not galaxies, but over planets.
Planets.
So calendar, we will not be able to use Calendly because the rotation of the day in March and the year. So we will need a new Calendly. Who's going to do it?
Well,
And do you
I'm gonna
have
ask
the
AI,
space
can you
knowledge?
do it now? So if you're
Yes,
in
because
Mars
AI
and
will.
on Earth, yeah, go.
But that's exactly what we could not do, you and me, 10 years ago. But now AI knows the length of the day and the month and the length of the year of March, and it will find the exact relationship with the Gregorian calendar and match you up, you know?
So if you're in Mars, or you're in the or on Earth, or you're on the moon, you'll know what time
Yeah.
it is. Be able to
Yeah,
schedule.
and if I send you a calendar, we will meet at the right time on the wrong at the right day. And I don't need to know the Earth calendar and the time zone, and you don't need to know about the Martian day and the Martian year.
So what if you created a Calendly that's a niche that really speaks to that niche and how things are going, or even a Zoom that's a niche that's more niche that fits
It
perfect.
will. I think it will work. I think it will work.
Uh-huh. Because
Yeah, like
it's
actually,
really identifying that area.
yeah,
So
I'll give you if you want an example. Actually, I want to try it. So we all have these calendars and Calendly and so on, but then some people have cultural or religious practices where they can't take a meeting at a certain moment. For example, the Shabbat. If you look at the Jewish community, can I have a calendar that actually will avoid people trying to talk to me for business when it's Shabbat in my area? They don't know about Shabbat, they're not culturally exposed. But then my calendar will handle that. If you're, for example, Muslim and you don't want to disturb a certain moment of prayer on the Friday. So every religion, every culture may have those things that the normal calendar will not accommodate for.
Okay. Best place to go is
rtila.com, rtila.com.
all right. Thanks again, Mohammed. That was
Thank
special
you.
simulcast, Neil Haley.